video walkthrough on used Sunset Trail. So, start in the back right here. You are pre-wired for a Furrion branded backup camera. So if you choose to buy one of those, you can have us install that if you'd like. It just replaces that black piece right there. It's got the camera, it'll have the screen that'll go on your truck, and then it uses power from your marker lights. So then you turn the running lights on your truck on, turns the camera on, then you turn your screen on, and you'll have a nice backup camera. You have a mount for a grill. Well, unsure if this one has a grill, but as we're working our way around, we'll see if it wasn't snagged by the previous owner. Sometimes the previous owners take some stuff out of their unit before they trade it in. Get the city water connection. So this is where you hook your hose up to. If the site you're at provides water, then you'll only have to run off of city water pressure. You won't need your pump or anything like that. Got your spray port for a quick disconnect spray hose. That's good if you got like pets or something, or kids, they got money, you can spray them off. You have a black tank flush, so as you're dumping your black tank, you can hook your hose up to here, screw it in there, turn your hose on as you're only do it when you're dumping your black tank, otherwise it's just going to fill up your black tank with water. And that'll flush out the black tank, keep stuff out of the sensors, keep it smelling good. Short cord inlet right here. This is your short cord. 30 amp, and it's about 25-30 feet long. Cable inlet. So you got cable and satellite. So if you're going somewhere that provides cables, you can hook it up through there. Got stabilizer jack. You have one of those in all four corners. Those are just meant to stabilize it. Don't try to use them to pick up the trailer to get that back end higher because it's low in the back. Use your tongue jack to level it front to back. And then snug these down to the ground to get all the shake out of it. If it's going to be loose gravel or loose dirt, I recommend putting a pad underneath these so they don't sink. Right here, your black tank and gray tank dump area. Right there, the one on your right is gray, one on your left is black. It's even nicely labeled here. Gray tank is your shower and sink water. Black tank is everything else. And then I always tell people, make sure them valves are closed when you're using it so it doesn't drip out onto the ground, get you in trouble at the campground or whatnot. And then I always dump my black first, let that get all the way emptied, and then I do my gray. The gray water will flush out the hose so you don't have to carry around a black tank hose. And then you can store your hose in the bumper cap. It's the perfect spot for it. Pop them caps off, stick the hose in there. It's designed to be put in there. Moving along. Your slide seals on all sides. Every once in a while, you just want to look at them, make sure they're not dry or cracked or anything like that. I say a couple times a year, 3-4 times a year, just look at them, make sure they're not dry or cracked. If they start feeling dry or cracking, you can bring it in, do what's called a slide out maintenance, or you can do it yourself. We sell the materials here to do it. Vent for your fridge. This is your air intake for airflow. That's kind of that's the exhaust on the roof. That's just for airflow for your fridge. So make sure you keep it clean up in here. And even if you wanted to, you could pop this cover off. Give these a quarter of a turn. Pop the cover off. Clean in there. Make sure all the spider webs and debris is all cleaned out. That's gonna keep your fridge cooling efficiently for a long time. Freshwater fill. This is where you're going to fill your onboard water tank. So rest your hose in there, turn it on, it'll fill up. You can monitor its progress from the monitoring panel inside. And if you start hearing water start sputtering out everywhere, it's full. And then after every trip, let's say you filled it all the way up and you only used half of it, I definitely recommend draining it. When you're done with your trip, you don't want that water sitting in there. It'll start to get stagnant. So the way you drain it is right down there. And there'll be a cap for that you have to put on when you're ready to use it. And then you just unscrew the cap when you're done. Pass-through storage. You got a crank for your stabilizer jacks, and you have that hose for the that spray port in the rear. It does not look like that grill is in here. They must have snagged it, but we'll keep looking as we go along. You do have a switch right there that does Oh, which one does it do? Forget which one it does. Oh, they must have, well, we'll figure out what that switch does. Usually, sometimes there's accent lighting up front, but that's not the case. But we'll leave it on and we'll continue onwards to see. Got your battery right here. It's a Group 24 RV marine grade battery. So if it's excuse me, it does charge when you're plugged in, so that keeps up with charge. Let's say you have it at a permanent site. I don't know what people do, but if you had a permanent site, or if you don't have somewhere where you can plug it in at home, if it's going to be a long time between trips that you use it, I definitely recommend disconnecting the negative lead off your battery. That's going to keep anything from using your battery when you're not around. In the winter, I recommend taking your battery completely out, storing it somewhere warm, like your basement or your garage, wherever you can, because the winter is really harsh on these batteries. You can pull this cover off. You don't have to pull it off to get to it. You can get to it from here. It's definitely a lot easier to show by taking it off. Got dual 30-pound cylinders. They are full, so we did fill them. Sorry, not 30-pound, 20-pound. 20-pound cylinders, 2 of them. And then this is your automatic changeover regulator, so wherever this is pointing, it's going to pull from that tank first. If you had both on and this one would be empty, it'll automatically switch to pulling from this one. However, this won't rotate, indicating it has switched what tank it's pulling from, so keep that in the back of your mind. And then some people have it split in the middle like that, thinking it's going to pull from both tanks equally. No, it doesn't do that. It's one or the other. Pretty simple. You do are pre-set up, partially wired for solar, just like your backup camera. It doesn't have the solar, but it's wired on the trailer part of it for it. So if you opted to get the solar kit, you get the Furrion kit, hook it up there, and all that does is trickle charge your battery using solar power. Power tongue jack with light, and extend and retract, and that beats cranking every day of the week. This is what you'll use to get it level front to back if you want it to be level. And then you'll use your, if you want it level side to side, as you're backing it in, you figure out which was your low spot, and then you back it up onto some blocks or some 2x8s or 2x12s underneath the tires to get it level side to side. That's pretty much it for up front. You do have your 7-way, so this will get hooked up with your truck. That's for all your lights on the trailer and the brakes. You got your chains, and then you have your breakaway right here. So this is hooked to a box underneath there. See if you can't see it. Yeah, can't really see it. This will get hooked up with all your hitch work and all that. If your trailer would ever get unhooked from your truck, it'll pull that pin in the box, and it'll activate the brakes on the trailer, keep it from rolling into traffic or slamming into the back of you. Other end of this storage, there's that crank and the spray pour I was telling about. You got a light in here. Nice big storage. And let's see if that light switch was for that light. It may or may not be. It might. No. So we still got to figure out what that light switch does. Hold on a sec, yeah. Okay, that light switch turns on those blue LEDs that are up there. So you just had to take a step back further. Get your awning, that's all the way out. So when you're running your awning, it does not automatically stop out. So you'll have to visually look. When it looks like this, you're all the way out. It is adjustable. Grab it right here, pull it down. You can it'll pitch one end down, so if it's raining, you can have water run off to the edge instead of all the way along the side. If it starts getting real aggressive rain, starts storming real hard, roll your awning in. The wind, a big gust of wind can rip your awning right off, bend one of these arms. But if you roll it in wet because it was raining, as soon as you get the opportunity, as soon as it gets dry and sunny, roll your awning back out, let the sun dry it out. You don't want it to hold water, it'll start to get streaky. Got your exhaust for your furnace. So it does get hot. See, it says hot. But as far as maintenance wise, keep it clean. Clean in here. Sometimes if you see a nest or something, pick it out. Don't try to blow it in with air. You'll just push it in further. Pick it out. If you see some like debris in there, you can use like a computer duster and squirt it in from the side to squirt it out. But I wouldn't use compressed air from an air compressor because it can push debris further in. They do make screens you can put on these. They don't recommend you run them with the screen on. That just restricts airflow. And the more airflow, the better it works. But the screen is good for like storage or travel because it's going to keep road debris from getting in there. It's going to keep insects from building nests in there. So it is good to have one. Water heater. So first thing you would do is put your plug in. It goes in right there. Thread it in as much as you can by hand. Once it's in, I use, and there's your cap right there. This is the cap for that fresh tank fill. So I was showing you underneath. You screw this on there, then you'd be good to fill your fresh tank. Sorry about that. Let's skip back and forth. Once you get the plug in there, I use it's a 15/16 is the socket size. I use that with an extension and a ratchet. That's easier than the tool they make for it, which is more like a regular wrench. And I always end up like scraping my knuckles on that. Once you get it snug, don't over tighten it. It is a plastic plug. Then as soon as you hook up water to this camper, it'll start filling your water heater. And then you're good to go. And just like your fresh tank, if you had filled this water heater up and you only used a little bit of hot water, there's still going to be water in there, and you don't want that water to sit in there. Like I said, it'll get stagnant. It'll start to smell. So you want to drain your water. So before you pull your plug out to drain your water, shut off all sources of water. So if you have your hose hooked up, turn the water off. If you're running from your pump, fresh tank, turn your pump off. Then you come out here, crack your pressure relief. It'll open like that. Water will squirt out. That's okay. Everything out here is designed to get wet. Once it stops squirting out, snap it closed. Then you could pull your plug out. Once that's doing it, it's relieving all that pressure in there. If you neglect to do that first, even if you hadn't run it yet, there's still pressure in there. And this might come shooting out. You're going to get hot. You're going to get water all over you. And it's even going to be more pressure if you've been running it because the hot water will expand. This will come shooting out real fast. You'll get hot water all over you. It's no fun. So make sure you relieve your pressure before you take your drain out. And then other than that, clean in here and then clean in here. And your water heater should do good for you. Just regular maintenance keeps these appliances running in good shape. Got a light up in here for your outdoor kitchen. Some storage there. Sink that just drains into the same gray tank. Fridge. This fridge only works when you're plugged in. So unlike your fridge inside, it doesn't run off of propane or anything. And then you do have right here another dual GFC right here. And then a cable outlet. So if you wanted to, you could have a TV on a table out here. Or even resting in here, which would be nice if you wanted to watch TV outside. You do have an outdoor grill still, rather than the one that you put on the back. So you would pick that up, slide it over, pull this out. You'd latch them, and then you have your propane line, which is, I think, built in. Yeah, it looks like it's built in. Oh, nope. Pull your propane line out of there. It gets hooked right there. It's like a quick disconnect. And then you have your valve for it right there. And you have a nice outdoor cooking surface. So all you do to use it, hold it up. You can rest it on these flaps, but it does stop and lean back far. Then you turn it on to light and light it with a lighter or a barbecue lighter or a match or whatever. That's good if you're cooking something real simple outside. That's pretty much it for the outdoor kitchen. You have another GFCI outlet there. All your GFCI outlets are on the same circuit. So if one was going to trip, they were all going to trip. And then I'll show you where you reset them when we go on to the inside. Which is where we're going next. So we'll come on into the inside. And we'll start in the bedroom. We'll start simple. Outlet either side of the bed. You do have a light above the bed right here with a switch right there to turn it on and off. So we'll turn it off now. You also have another light switch there that turns those blue LEDs on there. Other than that, I mean, bedroom's not a whole heck of a lot going on here. You have a spot to mount a TV. Right there is a backing plate for it. If you buy a mount, look at your screws that came with the mount. More than likely they're too long and you'll poke a hole through the outside of the camper. And then you have power and a cable outlet for it too. And then, yeah, you do have some storage underneath your bed. Oh, I was wrong. See, there's that outdoor grill that gets hooked on the back. And then it'll plug into the same propane thing as the other one. It even has a little extension hose for it. And then this does have struts to hold it open. One strut to hold this open. Some of them don't have that, and you have to hold it open and try to get stuff out of there. It's not fun. And then emergency exit. All you do, lift this up, pivot over. You could use it as a regular window. It'll rest like that. But if it was an emergency, you would push all the way out, grab the screen, rip it off, and then jump out the window. That's it for the bedroom. Let's go over here, just a pantry. You do have a light switch in there, and then you have an outlet in here. You got your fridge, very simple to use. You got some buttons here, push and hold that turns it on. And you have mode. So right now it's on auto, and it's telling you it's running off of electric. So if you hit mode again, it'll be gas. Hit it again, it'll be auto electric. So it's either auto electric or just gas. Well, not auto electric, it's just auto, and now it's telling you it's running on electric. So the nice thing about auto is if you were to trip over your cord, your short cord, and unplug the camper, or the campground were to lose power, your fridge is going to automatically switch to running off of propane. If your propane were to be on, it probably will be. That's one of the first things I turn on when I get in there to allow the lines to fill with propane. And then, yeah, these do take about 8 to 12 hours to get to their complete operating temperature. So if you can, the night before, plug it in, let it get cold. And then you have temperature settings there. Very simple. Turn it off for now. Doors for your bedroom. Just undo that, twist it. You can pull them. Both work that way. But any door that latches open, latch it open. Make sure it gets latched open when you travel, else you're gonna have like dents on your wall, and these doors are gonna smash together, and it'd be no bueno. Right under there, you got a carbon monoxide and propane gas alarm. Excuse me. So if there's ever a propane leak, that'll beep, or carbon monoxide leak, that'll beep. It's hardwired to the 12-volt system, so there's no batteries you have to worry about changing. However, if the battery up front and the one outside I was showing you starts to die, this will give low voltage chirps. Right next to that, breaker boxes, all your breakers for your 120 appliances, all your fuses for your 12 volt. So you got some 15s and 240s. I recommend keeping some spares with you. Do you have a TV in here? You should have. Your book, it's going to have all your remotes and all that for your TV in there. Yep, storage up here. You got power for your TV, and you have coax. So this is your cable / feeding from your antenna. That's going to the TV underneath there. If you are using your antenna, make sure this little green light is on. If you turn it off, that's if you're using cable. And if you do have it hooked up to a satellite outside, you have to swap this to satellite. Your radio right here is also a DVD player, so you can turn your TV to the AV channel, and it pop a DVD in there. You can play DVD. Other than that, you got power. Very simple. You got zones. Turn zone 1 off. It just plays. Oop. So zone 1 is outside. So if you have zone 1 off, just only zone 1 on, it's just gonna play outside. If you have just zone 2 on, it's just gonna play inside. And then you can have both on or both off. Numbers here for presets. Push and hold to save preset. You have pause, play, skip channels this way. On Bluetooth, you hit Bluetooth. You look up for Furrion DV3100 on your phone. Probably ask for a pin. It's either all ones, all zeros, or 1, 2, 3, 4. You have auxiliary, headphone jack, and USB. Volume knob, you can push it to go change your settings and all that. Very simple. Over here, you got your monitoring panel. So you got water pump. Turn that on if you're running your water pump. Water heater on gas, water heater on electric. You can run both at the same time. If you are going to run electric, make sure that there's water in it. If there's no water in it and you turn it on electric, you toast your heating element. You have lights for your awning, those blue LEDs underneath your awning. Lights here, which do, I believe, outdoor lights. This one does kitchen lights. This one does your bedroom lights. This one might actually do... No, okay. And then controls for your slide out, controls for your awning. Your awning, like I said, does not automatically stop when you're going out. If you were just to keep holding extend, it'll eventually roll back in. It'll wrap the fabric the wrong way around the tube, though. Monitoring panel, so you can read how full your battery is. Fresh, black, gray. You don't have a second gray tank, so ignore that one right there. Sometimes if you hit black and you know you just emptied it, you know it all drained out, and it might still, sometimes it'll say 1/3 or 2/3 full. That means there's some residue or something stuck on the sensors. If that were the case, run your black tank flush like that one I was showing you in the outside. Some people, I heard, if you put ice down your toilet, drive around for a little bit, tow it around a little bit, that'll knock up everything, and it's just ice, it'll melt, and then you can just drain all that out. Very simple. Microwave, just like your microwave at home, is only going to work when you're plugged in. Cooked range hood with a range vent. And then your cooktop's got a folding glass cooktop on it. And then to use it, you just turn it to light. Turn your sparker. The gas is off now, so it's not going to light for us. But you turn it to light, and then just hit your sparker, and it'll light it. Your oven's a little bit differently. You turn it to pilot. Push and hold. As you're pushing and holding, you have to go underneath there. You can kind of see it in there. As you're pushing and holding there, you have to go with a barbecue lighter and physically light the pilot. Once the pilot's lit, then you can turn it to whatever temperature you want. And since that is a pain in the ass to light the pilot, if you're cooking and you know you're going to be cooking in a few hours after you're done, if you turn it off but leave it to pilot on, it shuts your burners off but leaves that pilot on. That way you don't have to relight it again. However, definitely recommend before you go to bed or before you leave your camper for a couple hours, turn your pilot off. You don't want to leave a lit pilot unattended. It's just not a good idea to do that. Kitchen sink, very, very simple. You have this cover here, pop it off, and it'll make a good cutting board. I just recommend using this side. That way when you put it back down, you won't see the knife marks on it. The GFCI outlet there. Thermostat, so right now it's telling me it's 40 degrees inside this camper, 45 degrees inside this camper right now. So if you tap it, it'll ask fan low, fan high. That'll just run the fan on the AC. It won't actually kick the compressor on. Then you hit it again, you go through cool high, low, auto high. So if you have it on cool high or low, no matter what temperature you have it set to, it won't shut off. It'll keep going. Right now it's shut off because it's set to higher than 45 degrees and it's on auto. So it won't kick on. So if you have it on auto, if you have it set to, because I think this goes all the way down to, yeah, we had it set to 55. So your AC won't kick on auto if it's colder than 55 in here. But I believe these go all the way down to 33, yeah. So let's say you had it set to a reasonable temperature, 60, I like it at 62. You have it set to 62 when you're on cool, auto, high, or low. Once it hits 62, it'll shut off. And then once it starts warming up in here, it'll kick back on again to help regulate that. Definitely recommend just using auto. If you're running out on high, on non-auto, and it's 90 degrees out, and it's 80% humidity, You're just running your AC nonstop, more than likely it'll freeze up and then shut off and then won't kick back on again until it thaws out. Then you hit it again, you have your heat, and then your heat goes all the way to 99, I believe. Yep. Very simple. We're coming into the bathroom. Got light switch right here. Not a whole heck of a lot in here, really. I mean, you got plenty of storage for towels and other toiletries. Get your shower. When you're traveling, make sure they're just locked together so they don't swing apart. Get your shower with a shower head you can take off of your mount. Get the hard to reach spaces. Hot and cold in there, and then you have a little sunroof. It doesn't let that much light in, but if you're taller, it definitely helps. So you have a little bit more headroom. Like I said, make sure before you travel, you clip this together. Toilet, super simple. As long as you're pushing this pedal down, you're going to keep flushing. Medicine cabinet, plenty of storage in here. It goes back pretty far. And then you have a resettable GFCI outlet. So if any of the GFCIs in here were to trip, this is the outlet you reset it out. So if you have an outlet with this sticker on it and it suddenly stops working, you come back into the bathroom and you reset it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. The bathroom. Last little thing, everything in the slide out. So you got your lights for it here. So this one does your main light. The one on the left does these blue LEDs underneath it. And I like these accent lights they put on them. Table turns into a bed. Lift the table up, pop them legs out. The table will rest on these little kind of shelves right here. Then you just rearrange your cushions on your bed to create a nice platform to sleep on. Got storage underneath each two. Just pop these down. Got storage in there. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That pretty much concludes the tour of your Sunset Trail. I hope you guys enjoyed it.